On family? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin podcast presented by Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Rugged is the new smooth. Coming to you on this awesome Wednesday. This is the Arrington Gavin podcast, episode 60. Episode 60, y'all. Can't believe time goes by so fast, man. And again, I'm just truly appreciative of those who continue to tune into the Arrington Gavin podcast. Couldn't do this without you. And I just truly appreciate you. I truly appreciate you, the listeners, the viewers. This is a show where you get to just kick back, relax, and have a great conversation with your friend, Arrington. That's me. And yeah, so hope you all had a great MLK day this past Monday. I hope you all had, plenty of rest. I know a lot of jobs was off of work, so I hope you all, just got plenty of rest, man. Hope you're bundling up out there too, because temperature is dropping. I don't know where you are residing in. I know I'm in Virginia. Temperatures, I mean, we're like in the 30s right now. It's supposed to be having a really cold day today, and it's supposed to continue to get colder throughout the week. But hey, nothing can compare to Iowa. I don't know if y'all tuned into the Iowa caucuses, or the Iowa caucus coverage from all the different news outlets. I was watching a lot of that this past Monday, in addition to watching football games, of course. But yeah, I was like below 10, negative 10 below or something like that. Like, it's insanely cold. I actually have a good dear friend of mine who is he's a Iowa born and raised guy. That's his hometown. So I yet to ask him, man, how do you survive that kind of cold? But it is brisk, man, just freezing. What else is new? So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode this past Monday, where I kind of just chopped it up about what did I talk about? Stephen A. Smith going ham on Jason Whitlock. That was pretty funny. That was some pretty good material right there. I mean, it's still a long going feud, an ongoing feud, but we will talk eventually more about that until something new pops up. But as of today, on today's show, man, I got a few stories I want to bring up to you. The first one is about a lawsuit filed against a very well known sports franchise owner. Also, the Breakfast Club has a bit of a story going on with them, and then also I'm talk about the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul. Hochul, excuse me, I said Hochul. And what she's proposing to prevent the huge capacity of migrants entering her state. And then I haven't actually talked about this in a while, but it's the new year. I know you business owners out there are getting hungry. You have new goals set for you. So towards the end, at the end of the show, I'm definitely gonna be just throwing in another entrepreneurship tip with that. But until then, again, for those who are just now tuning in, you're tuning into the Arrington Gavin podcast, coming to you every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via podcast. So that means wherever you get your podcast from, whether if it's iHeart, Spotify, Odyssey, Stitcher, Google Pod, Apple, so many platforms, man. You can Spotify. I think I've already said that, but wherever you listen to your podcast, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin podcast. Also, let's see. 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via YouTube and Rumble. So our YouTube channel is R Smooth Club Media. The letter R, capital R, and then that's by itself, and then the word smooth and the word club and then media. You can find us on YouTube right now. Subscribe, like, follow, all that great stuff. Of course, follow us on social media and Instagram at R Smooth Club Media. Our Twitter page, well, now known as X, but I still call it Twitter. Support that as well. Our Facebook page, Our Smooth Club Podcast. I truly appreciate all that good stuff. Okay, so let's get this shindig on the road, and let's start off with our first story. Like I mentioned before, a well-known sports owner actually owner of my fellow favorite squad, the New York Knicks. I'm talking about James Dolan. So recently, there was a lawsuit filed. Actually, this occurred yesterday. Matter of fact, yesterday, a Tennessee woman filed a federal lawsuit yesterday, accusing the chairman of Madison Square Garden and the governor of the New York Knicks, James Dolan, of pressuring her into unwanted sex nearly a decade ago. Now, while also facilitating this, an encounter with disgraced Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein, who she also claimed sexually assaulted her. Now, this is not looking good because, for one, we all know the story about Harvey Weinstein. Sexually assaulted a countless number of women that are celebrities, sexually harassed. I mean, you name it. I mean, just disgusting acts, and he currently is serving jail time for that, pretty much for the remainder of his life, because of the acts that he partaked in. Now, in this lawsuit, it says here, and this is reported by ESPN, filed in the United States District Court for the Central District of California and obtained by ESPN. Now, Kelly Cross says she was 27 and working as a licensed massage therapist when she met Dolan in the fall of 2013 while on a tour with a rock band, the Eagles. Who doesn't love the Eagles, by the way? Hotel California. I mean, come on. Now, Dolan's band, JD and the Straight Shot, opened for the Eagles during that tour. Now, I'm going to just be honest. James Dolan is a billionaire. Now, I have never listened to his band. I never listened to his music at all. I forget that he is a musician because being a Knicks fan, I could care less about the the owner, because the owner really doesn't have a good reputation amongst other Knicks fans. We really don't care for Dolan. We really don't. But for you guys to be opening for the Eagles, had to have some pull. Had to have some pull. Now, during one encounter, the lawsuit alleged that Dolan became extremely assertive and pressured Miss Croft into unwanted intercourse with him. In a subsequent encounters, the lawsuit alleged Croft was summoned to Dolan's room where he made unwelcome advances towards Miss Croft, and she felt obligated to submit the sex with him. This is, these are still allegations. These, she filed a lawsuit accusing him. So this is still, he's innocent until proven guilty. But again, we live in a world right now where obviously, the Me Too movement have really shined a light on sexual harassment, sexual assault, abuse in the workplace amongst women. We have to understand that, our queens out there are, for one, not making the equal amount of money as they deserve. So wages, the mistreatment that they get in general, and as men, we still have to learn, because we might, in certain instances, we don't know signs, because sexual assault can happen out in the open. Sexual harassment, all that stuff can happen in the open, but as men, we have to be aware of, like, we don't know those signs, and we have to make sure that we continue to learn so we can defend our queens out there, because it's disgusting the fact that this is still going on. And see, there is such thing as abuse of power. Dolan is a billionaire, and again, these are all allegations, but Dolan is a billionaire. Harvey Weinstein was damn near a billionaire as well. I mean, was it Weinstein? Was it Weinstein? The whole movie set, the whole movie company that he had. I mean, he grossed some of the highest, most highest grossing films, action films, you name it. These guys had power, and I'm sorry, but they look horrible. Like, Harvey Weinstein looks like straight garbage. Okay, so he forces attractive women onto him. Let's be honest, these attractive women don't really want him. If they did, they probably just want his money. But he had to force them to sexual acts. And with these allegations brought against James Dolan, I mean, if this is true, there could either be a huge consequence because federal lawsuit. Now, civil, and correct me if I'm wrong, attorneys that tune into this show, because again, I'm not an attorney, but I'm just assuming or just guessing. If I'm not mistaken, civil is basically pay. You ask for, you win in a settlement. Now, federal, that's a little different. That is a little different. Now, I don't know what the rules stand in the city of in the state of New York, but this is which I believe this might have happened in California, but still I don't know what the laws say out there, but this is a pretty big deal. This is I mean again, if found guilty, what is the reputation going on with him? Would he still remain as the team owner? Would it be would you want somebody to, would they force him to, to sell the team and or just go under new ownership? Because I mean, the Madison Square Garden, New York City, they need to stay in New York for one. But when I say that New York fans are not huge fans of Dolan, is because Dolan has been seen making dumb decisions and being disrespectful to loyal players, as well as including loyal fans. Two stories I'll bring up. First story, Charles Oakley, New York legend. Okay, played with the Knicks, had great years with them. He obviously went on to win rings. I believe he played with the Bulls, if I'm not mistaken, and got a couple rings with them. But there was a showing him getting into it with Charles Oakley. Like, I mean, this was like what, a few years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and they had security escort a Knicks legend from the arena. Like, you see, and it's so funny because Oakley is like damn near 7 feet tall, and these security guards are like my height at 5'8", and they're just pulling him, dragging him, and it looks like a bunch of ants swarming him and stuff. And they escorted him, and again, that's just a sign of like, it wasn't a good looks, dude. Not a good looks. Then fast forward further on within that year, or even like 2 years after that, Spike Lee, one of the most legendary, he is the true like Knicks fan. He's been there forever. I'm talking to the point where he's probably invested tens of millions of dollars in season tickets. Okay, he talked about his issues with the owner. I say this because Dolan doesn't have a support system behind him. At least, people can say, oh, well, he's a great guy. People look at him as a douchebag. They look at this guy, they see him, they encounter him, and they think he's a douchebag. Now, I don't know how the relationship between him and Spike Lee is currently. I know Spike Lee still attends Knicks games. Oakley, I believe, is still back in the limelight and allowed to come in the Garden. But this is, oh boy, man, and again, to have Harvey Weinstein's name mentioned into this doesn't make anything better for him, because again, Harvey Weinstein is currently in jail. All right, he's in jail. So with this going on, we even got more cases amongst brought to public figures and sexual assault and it's just sad, man. And I had an episode about this, and it was titled hashtag no means no, damn it. No means no, damn it. Okay, this whole forcing this against their wills, and it's sad, man, and it's sickening. All right, it's sick. But I will digress this story and move on, but we will continue to follow up more with this story, because again, this story just came out yesterday. Matter of fact, this was filed yesterday, so it's fairly new in the news and really in the sports world. So we will continue to check this story out. But again, moving on. So one of my favorite radio shows. Now, I happen to also host be in the world of radio. I'm very honored to. It's a dream come true. I host a weekly radio show called In Your City, which airs every Sundays at 12 p.m. on WNSB Hot 91.1 FM. And it is a show that I co-hosted with comedian Ciroc Fox, one of my dear friends, and also Hustle Queen, Miss Michelle Young, and art is produced by my dear friend Cam Godley. So show we get to kick back. We're unfiltered, we're raunchy, but we keep it real. We're fun, informative, and refreshing, and we're just honored to be a part of the WNSB Hot 91 family, man. And we do great stuff in the community, and we're continuing to grow in listenerships. And we're just a weekly show, but one of some of our idols that we look up to is obviously none other than the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club. I mean, in the culture, in the black community, in pop culture, this show. When I tell you, this show is a U.S. a national treasure. It truly is. I mean, Charlamagne the God, DJ Envy. At the time, their original co-host was Angela Yee. They're all radio Hall of Fame inductees, and they have been inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame, and well deserved. I think they're going on maybe I'm gonna say 15 years, maybe more than that, maybe almost 20. I could be wrong. But they have been number one like for years. And I will say, I'll say maybe just a year ago, a little over a year ago, their longtime co-host Angela Yee had announced that she would be leaving the show to and still stay with the family, but she'll be hosting her own show called Way Up with Angela Yee. I think it comes on after the Breakfast Club, if I'm not mistaken. And so she announced that she was leaving, and everybody was, oh no, I'm joking, Angela. I'm joking, Angela. You dope, you dope. But at that time they're like, wow, this is gonna be a huge seat to fill. So since she's been gone, they have had rotating hosts, whether if it's male and female. Most of them have been comedians. A lot of them have been people that also work in radio, have their own shows and things like that. Media personalities. They've had, oh my gosh, they've had Claudia Jordan, who she's a known media personality for Fox Soul. They've had Ebony K. Williams, a news journalist, attorney. She has her own show on the Griot. They've had so many people. One of those famous people, comedian Just Hilarious. So throughout the whole entire process, you're always, you get the conversation of, okay, who is who do you think will take the cake, right? Who do you think would be an amazing I don't know, an amazing co-host? Who should be a great permanent co-host on the Breakfast Club? Because obviously Charlamagne the God is the number one personality up there. DJ Envy on the 1 and 2s. Of course, everybody loves DJ Envy, but really, it's I'll be honest. It's Charlamagne is the key piece in that show, so that's why it's still great the fact that you have those two original cast there, but you still need that female voice. And you still need, of course, you want that person to add some more humor, which you can get that from Charlamagne as well. But you kept on thinking, like, who are they gonna name as their permanent co-host? You just kept on thinking, like, who would it be? Who would it be? Who would it be? So, Just Hilarious had been appearing many a times. I mean, and I'm a big Just Hilarious fan. My wife and I, we caught her one of her comedy shows at the Funny Bone in Virginia Beach a while back, and I mean, great person, humble, hilarious. I mean, it's in her name. Her rise to fame is well deserved. She started off as, I believe, on social media. She's on Wild and Out, and she's continued to climb the the ladder when it comes to comedy and entertainment, and you name it. Sorry, I had to wet my whistle. And so recently, I think this was like maybe New Year's Eve, like during a party that she had. Just Hilarious had announced that she was going to be the permanent host. She was just informed that she was going to be the permanent host on the Breakfast Club. So everybody went bananas, like, you deserve it, yeah, whoa. Everybody's hype. Then come to realize, you're like, where the hell is where Just Hilarious at? they doing a lot of, they've been doing a lot of recordings. I mean, not a lot of recordings. They've been, doing a lot of broadcasts, just regular, and you haven't seen Just Hilarious. And then recently, DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God was kind of back and forth saying, look, we are confused on this hosting thing, because we thought we were just going to continue to do we were going to continue to do like the whole swapping, the whole back and forth with the rotating the host and things like that. And so recently, I know TMZ had followed up with them. You can see this on the Shade Room as well. This right here is reported by the new hip hop. Wait, the hot new hip hop.com. And as you see in the title, DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God, they question the Breakfast Club hosting situation, because they really just they don't know. Now it's been a year-long search for a new Breakfast Club co-host. And honestly, and he says he's fed up with it, and he being Charlamagne the God, because TMZ or reporters have followed up with him. I can't say if this is TMZ, but I know reporters had followed up with him. And so, okay, so the seat has been vacated a little over 2 years ago, because that's when Angela left the show. And I'm trying to see. Let's see here. Let me see. Radio show. I've already mentioned Claudia, Jason Lee, Lauren LaRosa, and then Just Hilarious. So it looks like here. Okay, so Charlamagne the God has stated that he has no idea where she is. Interestingly, he also did not validate her announcement. Okay, which is that's good. That's good to hear. Charlamagne says the revolving door of guests has lost its luster and sounds like it's permanent co-host or a bust for him. I couldn't agree more. You know what? I don't like. It's almost like, okay, when you look at shows like The View. Now, The View has 5 or 6 permanent co-hosts. Now, sometimes when one is on break or one goes on vacation, they have somebody that switches off. You have that one person that says, hey, look, we have a guest co-host. And, it's not bad. I mean, you can enjoy it, because you're just like, oh, who's that, guest person. Now, again, for a radio show, I mean, they radio doesn't have breaks. And especially when you're on like 5 days a week for hours and hours. You start losing, like, okay, we've had this person before. Like, you eventually you lose track of who to bring on. It's like you have to. It's not fun for the person, for the radio host, and I can even speak for myself, because like you have to. It's like you're meeting a new person every day. You're getting to know them every day. You don't know how the conversation is gonna flow and things like that. Like, I'm like, when we first started our radio show, it was just myself. It was myself, Ciroc, and our producer Cam. Just us three. And it was comfortable. We were already getting the flow of things. We were really comfortable. But we knew we were just missing we had a missing piece. We were missing that female's perspective. And we were so honored to have Michelle sign on with us as our third co-host. And for me, it was I've already, at the time, I already had met Michelle before, had lunch with her, all that great stuff. But for Ciroc, when we were in the studio, like, he met her just the very first time. And so that vibe, they had to learn amongst each other, right? They had to get familiar with each other. They had to get more comfortable with each other. And eventually, of course, we're like family now, and it flows off like nothing. But I can understand and get Charlamagne's point, because when you are rotating somebody all the time, that shit gets old, y'all. That it gets really old. And so we wonder now, and I guess to them, they were like, Angela Yee's family, she rode this success wave with us together, so she will be missed. It'll be a hard seat to fill. But deep down, do you really think they assumed that it was going to be this difficult? because Angela Yee she had the female's perspective, right? Angela Yee was, in my opinion, like a true journalist. Now, Charlamagne, and he can, and this is no disrespect to Charlamagne, and I'm curious to see like how he will describe himself. But Charlamagne he's everything, man. Just a media mogul. He has his own podcast network. He's published multiple books. New York Times bestseller, if I'm not mistaken, or if he's not, he should as well hell be. But he is extremely talented. His personality. He's been in radio for so long on different outlets. He's hosted TV shows before. I mean, he is the shit. Okay, he's somebody I truly have the utmost respect, and he's like on my Mount Rushmore when it comes to radio personalities, hands down. Angela Yee is that soft-spoken person, that gives her perspective, this and that and the other. But I would say Angela, in my opinion, and after listening to the show, I never knew her to have so many, that ever really have like memorable moments. In my opinion, Just Hilarious would be a great addition to the show. Now, Charlamagne has said they said he never validated her announcement, so it could be true. But she hasn't been on the show yet, and I hope everything's okay, and I hope she does come on the show, because for one, it will suck to say that she made the announcement in front of everybody, and then it turns out she's not. I mean, like, damn, bummer. But it is interesting though. Read up on this, guys. Read up on this conversation, because if I'm missing something, hey, please let me know. Leave a comment on our YouTube channel. Also, DM me at Arrington Gavin on Instagram or our Smooth Club Media. Truly appreciate that. As I digress from this convo, I'm going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to have some more here on the Arrington Gavin podcast. Again, coming to you every Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via YouTube. Yes, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via YouTube. 1 p.m. No, 10 a.m. Eastern Time via 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via podcast. Look, it's so much stuff I gotta always keep in mind. I might need to start having scripts sitting around here. But 10 a.m. via podcast, and then 1 p.m. via YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, all that good stuff. That just shows right there. Look, I need to take a quick break, but when we come back, I have some more of the Arrington Gavin podcast. That was Ingenious Gen, my friends Reggie and Lawrence, co-founders of Ingenious Gen. It's a rose gold, black owned and veteran owned gin. So please check them out. Find them wherever you buy your alcohol, your liquor stores. Total Wine, as you see in there, on all your local Total Wine stores, and it's very good. Like, I'm more of a bourbon, whiskey, tequila guy. Love wine too. And beer. I really don't discriminate when it comes to certain. Well, vodka I hate. I do not like vodka. I don't like vodka. But if you mix it really good, like I have to mix it with like pineapple juice or cranberry juice, and then I will enjoy it. But it's just vodka, like, oh. Back in my college days, vodka was my drink of choice, and it was just bad times. But no, I like my bourbon, my cognacs, whiskeys, my browns. But gin, I will say this gin is pretty damn tasty. I was honored to have them on one of my first podcasts, our Smooth Club podcast. This was years ago, man. We had a great conversation, heard about their story and all that good stuff. And I highly recommend you to, go back in the archive, check it out. It's available on my YouTube channel, at our Smooth Club Media. And if you scroll down, you can go under the playlist and go to our Smooth Club podcast, and you should be able to find that one, man. And it was great. It was a great conversation. And yeah, man, just we always got to support black-owned businesses. So yeah, Ingenious Gin. So make sure you drink responsibly too, by the way. But yes, moving on to one of our final stories of the show. New York Governor Kathy Hochul. All right, Kathy Hochul. She is proposing a new. She is proposing a new spending. She's proposing a new package. Basically, proposes spending billions on migrant crisis. Now, as you know, here in the United States, we do have a migrant issue when it comes to illegal immigrants entering in the United States. They're entering into different, whether it's Texas, Arizona, California, New York. I mean, New York alone, and I have a lot of family in New York, in the cities, and I mean, they are surrounding. I mean, it's families of them that are entering in the area legally, and they're having issues. And what I mean by the states are having issues on sheltering the migrants. I mean, sometimes they're hanging outside of schools, man. I mean, they're hanging around schools, and I know parents feel uncomfortable with with that. I think I was listening to a story, reading up on a story not too long ago. I want to say it might have been in New York, where, let me scroll this up a little bit, where they had to evacuate, or they had students to basically do their work remotely, and and it they did that so that they can move in migrants into the schools, and just temporarily. uh it's man, it's honestly, it's a shit show. It's extremely sad because you hate to see families, parents with their little ones that they walk and all that stuff. And let's be honest, we do have a border issue. We really do. I I'm for, of course, people trying to have bigger opportunities, and well, at least go so they can live a better life, and to have a more opportunities to provide for their families. Obviously, entering illegally is never the case, and and again, this is just me giving you my unfiltered opinion. You're for them to enter, but there we do have a process. We have a legal process to do so. But because we have so many, it's just, I mean, it's a whole big conversation, and I actually want to have some of my friends in politics to chime in and give their perspective as experts, because I could be missing out on some things. But I'm just giving you my my honest opinion. If people enter illegally, keyword illegally, why are they entering illegally? What is the issue, right? So we need to find the solution in the issue. What is their reason to enter illegally? But the whole thing is that they are coming into the areas, into the states, and it's just there's no place for them to shelter. There is no place for them to eat, sleep. They're just, sometimes they're just in the streets, man. They're just in the streets, and New York is getting a huge, like, Mayor Eric Adams has been very vocal of the Biden administration about that. Obviously, Kathy Hochul, she's pretty vocal. I mean, a lot of the Democratic states, I would say, a good number of them, and a lot, of course, of the red state, but a lot of Democratic states are having a lot of those, issues. So in cities, excuse me, and so New York governor proposed a spending bill. This is reported by News Nation. Actually, this is from one of their local outlets, ABC affiliate outlets, Channel 7 in New York City, where Kathy Hochul unveils a, let's see, a 233 billion-dollar budget proposal with 2.4 billion for NYC asylum seekers crisis. Now, to read more into the key thing is the fact that she's asking for 2.4 billion to shelter the migrants. Now, I'm reading on my pad right now off of News Nation. So it says here, New York Governor Kathy Hochul is proposing a new budget to ramp up funding to handle New York City's asylum seeking crisis. Now, yesterday, this past Tuesday, Hochul unveiled a $233 billion budget that includes $2.4 billion to cover the cost of sheltering migrants and providing funds for case management, medical and legal bills, and employment related services. This is a $500 million increase over the last year's allotment. It's been a while since I've been in school, so I can't pronounce that. Spare me. This comes after months of pleas from Mayor Eric Adams to President Joe Biden for migrant funding. Kathy quotes, "We must support the city of New York in this moment." At the start of last December, more than 150,100 migrants, okay? Over 150,000 migrants have arrived in New York City since the spring of 2022. 150,000 and nowhere to put them at. I mean, that is a lot. And New York City is already a city stacked up like a bunch of sardines, bro. Like there's so many people. Now to city officials have struggled to process process, house, and feed the migrants as bus loads of asylum seekers enter the city nearly every day. This is just and it sucks because it tends to be like a Democrat against Republican kind of related issue. But in all honesty, y'all, this is just an American issue. All parties should come together on this issue because we do have a migrant issue. They need to get off their asses and admit that we have a freaking migrant issue and we need to find a solution for this. I get so tired of seeing politicians fight amongst each other, and yet again, residents in the area have to suffer because it's like, okay, they're walking around, they want to go on a walk with their family, and then here comes strangers to them that don't have a lot, asking for help, might not speak clear English. It's crazy. And I mean, God forbid, you got people now that are open gun owners to open and carry. That was crazy. They're licensed to carry a gun, and they have it on their open carriers, and they just it's not good. It's not good at all. So obviously, that is one thing that I would say that is really hurting the Biden administration. It is election season. We just had the Iowa caucus. Is mayors like Eric Adams, other cities and states that have the migrant issues, are they gonna kind of lean away when it comes to endorsing and supporting him because they're like, hey, look, we gotta do something about this. We have got to do something about this. Let's see. Officials project the cost of providing food, shelter, medical care, and other services to migrants to reach around $10 billion through the summer of 2025. I want your thoughts on the migrant issue. For all my friends, listeners, viewers out there, liberal, conservative, independent, give me your true thoughts on the whole migrant issue. Please, again, leave a comment, DM me, leave a message. I'm gonna make posts about this. Just give me your thoughts on this because this is a huge issue that is needs to be spoken about, and it needs to be dealt with. Once again, I am the whole building a wall thing, bit aggressive, at the time where President then Trump was, saying we're going to build a wall. If people are trying to enter for a better life, please bring them in. But there is ways for them to do that. And they have to do that legally. So again, you kind of get my side on this one. And it's a lot, man. It's a lot. And so much money is getting spent, and taxpayers' monies, and it's a lot. I know for sure that residents of that area is pretty pissed about what's happening with the whole migrant issue. But before I go, I want to digress from that convo. But of course, this will be an ongoing conversation. This is election season. Um, and the migrant is not just going to end overnight. The whole migrant, asylum seekers and stuff like that, that's not going to end overnight. So it's going to be long term. So I'll continue to follow up with that here on this program. But before I leave, I have got to, as I've been lacking on, providing some, entrepreneurship tips, right? As you know, I consider myself still a student, but I'm been honored recently as an award-winning entrepreneur in the 2023 Black Men Rock Image Award for Top Entrepreneur. So I might know a thing or two that can add some assistance to your journey as an entrepreneurship and, just investing in yourself. So this is 2024. This is 2024, y'all. So I know my fellow business owners and entrepreneurs, y'all have your goals set and you are like saying, hey, look, this is my year. I got a lot going on. This is what I got to do. And please make sure you got this. This is your year. This is your year. The advice I can assess with this and can provide for you is when it comes to online platform social media, okay, leveraging online platforms and social media. So as you know, we are in a digital age, right? Everything is getting more and more techie, technology, digital, everything. No, there is no more business cards. Everything is digital. So please start getting familiar with social media platforms, whether that's Instagram, Threads, Facebook, Twitter or X, LinkedIn. I could be missing out on some platforms, but please get familiar with those because here's an interesting thing. I remember when Instagram was mainly just like another social media platform when you just communicate amongst people, right? You make a post, still post, it was all about still post. Then they vamped it up to you can produce a video. Then now you can do reels, short timing clips and videos. Now you can purchase products and items through Instagram or on Instagram. So it's now used as an e-commerce site. So I say all that to say is start doing your own homework because for those startup companies and you're an up and coming business owner, you're not going to have a lot of the funds and finances to provide for a social media developer, things in that nature. Now, if that's within your budget, go ahead. Because if you have a certain amount that you can spend, go ahead, get that, because that is one of your top tier things. Social media, man, is key. If you garnered a huge social media presence, that is key because that's the future. TikTok, okay? I've seen people become self-made millionaires off of TikTok alone, okay, in a matter of months. Again, Instagram. Get familiar with your social media because without that, what's your target audience? Because Instagram, for one, you got to get your young people. You get middle class people. You get older folks that's starting to get familiar with that. But yeah, social media, bro, is everything. That was something that is very important for me. We're honored to have a media manager, and we're continuing to grow. We've grown with just posting still photos, but we know our campaigns, everything like that, because there's going to be a time where it's like, damn, I can't afford promotional ads on magazines or on newspapers or on news outlets or media outlets. I'm not going to have that kind of funds, but you're always going to have your social media, and that social media is going to be your gateway to, that's going to be like your telemarketers, right? You're going to be so addicting to social media, making multiple posts a day. It's going to be like you're annoying your followers, but they're always going to remember it when whatever like for me, I'm making sure I'm always going to make a post about beard care to the point where I'm annoying the people that tune into my platforms, because every time they wake up and they're looking for some beard, they're going to think of Rugged. All right, every time they see somebody with a bad beard, like, you got to make it familiar. But yeah, I can't speak higher enough amongst how Instagram is. Instagram and just social media in general, you can get monetized, so you can start receive. There's another source of income for you. You know how I'm big about multiple streams of income. I'm trying to look at I'm looking at my notes real quick to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Oh, when it comes to marketing and advertising, you can do that through social media, okay, and at a low cost too. I mean, Instagram, you can make an advertising post, $5 a day for like for 5 straight days, or even set for a week, and start seeing some results. So again, it's affordable. It is very affordable. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars on a regular, because at some points you're gonna run out. You're gonna run dry. Not everybody has that kind of money to promote, but once you get big time like that and you do have that, then you can start leaning towards those avenues. But please don't be the startup company that spends a shit ton of money. Please, please, please don't be that company that spends a shit ton of money and then you're going you're broke, and you're not making a lot of money, because again, I've said it before, and you can agree to disagree, but sometimes you give yourself a 5-year plan or a 7-year plan. Now, those first 2 years, look, don't be surprised if you're not making any money, because you're still growing. You're still trying to find that target market. You're still trying to get your product out there. Now, it's always important to make sure that you do your business plan prior to when you start your business, so then you can already have those scenarios. Okay, uh, if this happens, okay, boom, I'm already prepared for, because I have a plan B option, I got a plan C option. Always be prepared. So make sure that you do have a business plan already en route prior to when you launch your business. And another thing too, guys, in order to be successful, you're gonna have to take falls. It's not a bad thing to fail. Okay, successful people fail all the time. That's what helps lead you to success. All right, successful people is not just perfect and just pass it on through flying colors. No, they've fallen multiple times and probably still does. But again, you fall and you learn and you build up even stronger. You fall and you learn and you build up 3 times stronger. Remember that. Please, guys, please. Because you are so talented, man. And I know there's plenty of entrepreneurs, business owners out there that is just wanting to invest in themselves, but they're anxious and they're scared. And look, it's 2024. You cannot be scared. You cannot be scared anymore, y'all. Y'all cannot be scared. I can I just I'm getting passionate with it, because it's just like, I know so many talented folks that deserves success, but they're settling down of what they're doing and not making a lot of money and just miserable and always pissed off at the world. And the ones that really don't deserve the success, they got the success. Okay? So think on it. Think on it. Let me see. Before I end it too, if you are trying to learn more about social media, look, it's very simple. You can go on your website, you can go on your computer right now, to go to Google or wherever, Bing, whatever, and just they have certain courses about social media. Even go on YouTube and watch some tutorial videos on different types of social media, because it's very simple. So for me, I'm more of a visual learner, so I learn a lot through YouTube and through videos and visuals. But for those who are strictly audio books or just ebooks, read, get educated on it, get educated, and then start practicing time and time and again, step by step process while you're still learning. And that's really all I can provide for y'all today, man, because I'm tired. I'm tired. But again, all jokes aside, though, I'm never tired of having a great conversation with you, my friends, the listeners, the viewers out there that continue to support the Arrington Gavin podcast. Again, this is episode 60, so truly honored, and just I can't wait to continue to. I got so much great stuff coming forth with this podcast, man. We're still in the growing stages, but we've been very fortunate of having some amazing guests on and conversations on this platform. So again, tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I don't know how many times I can say that. You're scrolling down the bottom. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time via podcast, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time via YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook. Also, tune into my weekly radio show In Your City, which airs every Sundays at 12 p.m. on WNSB Hot 91.1 FM, the soul of VA. Look, I will see you guys on Friday. But until next time, y'all be easy out there. Stay warm, stay blessed, and stay safe. Look, I'm out.